All right, Cooter here. We did not do much filming on this one, but it's definitely a Cooter's episode, worthy of a Cooter's episode or two. 06 F350 engine job. New turbo, there's the old one. Head gasket job, there's the old ones. Head bolts, old ones. Cylinder heads, old ones. Intake, old one. Tranny pan, old one. Boost tubes, updated boost tubes. So it's been a day and a half. Diesel 6-liter Ford thrash fest. But we're about to lower this thing down, fire it up, tie it, wrap up a few loose ends, get it out of here. So I'm doing this with my buddy Ron from his shop. And anyway, that's it for Cooters. Just another day in the life of diesel engine mechanics. All right. Here we go. Here's first startup in real time. You can hear it. Motor's got to build oil pressure. Everything's got to get full of oil. Batteries on this thing sound a little weak, so we'll probably... Oh, there she goes. That's typical for a 6-liter when you drain the oil rails on top of the motor, and it's got, all these oil passageways, and the heads have to be filled. There's an oil rail that sits up on top of here. I don't have one to show you. But it's all pressurized motor oil from a high-pressure pump that fires all the injectors. And when you take the motor apart, you lose all that motor oil. Anyway, she's running. A big puddle under the truck. Sounds good. All right. Cooter back here. Yeah. A day in the life of a diesel mechanic, part 2.0. Ford 6-liter was going so good. We fired it up. Ron revved it up just a little bit. The tip on one of the rocker arms, number 6 cylinder, the third one back on the driver's side, blew the tip right off. Camera's having a hard time focusing here. That sits in the ball, in the cup. It's got this little sheet metal retainer thing that holds it in. I mean, there's an intact one. It gives it a little pivot. So when this rocker moves, that thing can pivot. Now, I suspect what happened was, on a startup like these, the lifters maybe are collapsed. They're not new lifters. They're the lifters that were in here. However, so anyway, he and I working together, 15-minute tear down. We had the oil rail, rocker cover off, the oil rail off. We didn't have to pull any of the injectors. Had to pull one head stud nut back here. That's what goes through that plate. And everything else looked good. You can see how there's I don't have a better light in here. Anyway. There's bridge caps that cover 2 valves. These are 4-valve heads. So these little, I'll pull one off and show you. These little bridge caps, the camera's having a hard time focusing today. I got the old heads out here just for curiosity's sake. I'll bring this rocker arm out here. A little easier to see out here if anybody's curious on how these, as I'm dropping all the parts. All right, so you got your 4-valve heads right here. Bridge cap spans either the intakes or the exhausts. They're all the same. And there is no orientation. You know, some guys will put them on one way. I don't know. When I hang them on there, this here would be the intake manifold, exhaust manifold down here. So the heads are sitting at an angle. I'll usually put see how they have a round and a slotted hole? It really doesn't matter which way they go. But I'll usually put the round hole up. And then, let's see, where would this one fit into the equation? All right. So if this were on a motor, now the rocker boxes are not on this engine. So that makes a difference because this would normally sit up higher. It would sit up like that. Now, there's an aluminum rocker box that sits on top of this head, and that holds this up here. So normally, this rocker arm would sit up there, and it would push on the middle of that bridge. And it would actually, one rocker arm would actually open 2 valves at the same time. And that's how that works. And this thing would be oriented to, you know, about like that. So the other one would hit those other 2 valves, and push rods come up in through all these windows down here into these cups. So this is a simple problem. My buddy went back to his shop. He's got more of these rocker arm assemblies, new ones in stock. So we're going to swap it out. We'll put it all back together, and hopefully that'll be it. Drama solved.